Alright, we're back with some more Raging Loop. Last time we got introduced to a lot more characters. Names? Don't remember. Honestly, give me time. Give me time. I know Chiemi's the girl. A guy's name like Haruki or something with Haru, but like it's not Haru. Uh, but I'll get there. So basically, introduced to the village, they want us the fuck out of there. They didn't even want us like there. Like I don't know what they would have done if Shimi didn't convince them to be like, oh, we're an okay guy. Let's just help him get out of here. Because what's the alternative? Kill us or something? Now that I think about it, right? Because I mean, if they just wanted to kick, I mean, I guess maybe they would just kick us out and not help us get the motorcycle. But yeah. Anyways, things are looking fine. Chimi's still telling us, hey, they might that nice, but be careful. So obviously, we gotta stay vigilant, which our guy is very vigilant in general, so I think he should be good. Um, Two of the guys are trying to get our motorcycle out so we can get out. So yeah, nothing crazy yet, man. We're sticking in there. As we waited, Chemi cat. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did not read Chemi on screen. I swear that was on my mind. I wasn't even looking at the screen. Casually but uncomfortably told me several things. Lore? First, I found out that the people here in Yasumizu were a bit on edge right now. Yeah, they also implied that something like happened near the river where they found us, like shortly before we arrived, right? So it's kind of bad timing, man. The reason for that was the fact that, excluding me, they had three whole outsiders here. Three? Interesting. I'd assumed this myself from what I knew so far, but apparently yesterday morning a little girl was found straying around the Saranaga Rapids. And I think they think that little girl is forgot what they called it, but like a monster. Because they thought we were a monster and then they asked us about our history, our personal history. So I'm wondering if like the monster can take shape but they don't have like memories and stuff. So yeah, just something to think about. They couldn't even find out her name, let alone who her parents were, so they didn't know how to handle her. For now, one of the inhabitants was looking after her. Like I'd been told, the more superstitious inhabitants, Tai-san mostly, saw her as a bad omen. It's a little creepy, that you're pretty isolated. So how does a little girl without her parents end up there? But then, so I can see why they're sus. Like, there's only like really bad options, unless like their parents like crashed somewhere and she made it out there. But otherwise, I don't know, man. I suggested leaving her to the police, but Shimi didn't seem to think it was a good idea. Also, like, obviously there's no police station here. Like, how far out is the police station? Probably the village that the guy was saying in the mountain pass or something, right? It barely made sense to me, but if I were to believe her, things around here were such that not even the cops could do anything. But they got the power. And apparently the remaining two outsiders were a pair of journalists gathering info for a magazine article. Unlike the little girl and I, they'd come here via the normal route through Kamifujiyoshi and therefore weren't considered a bad omen or whatever. I mean, I get I don't understand the traditions and stuff, but like, four outsiders at once, which I bet like they rarely get one, does seem like, I don't know, bad luck at least, right? Still, even normal outsiders put people on edge. Through this talk, I also got some details about the area itself. Okay. Ooh. Mountain is the Shinai Kamifuyoshi. Is a town, I guess? Oh wait, Yasumizu was a settlement part of an autonomous region called Fuyoshi Village, or simply Fuyoshi. Settlement, huh? It's also been on the map I've shown at the store. Oh wait, there's this... Wait, actually, I don't know. Fuyoshi was split into two areas, Yasumizu and Kami Fujiyoshi. They were separated by a mountain. Going to Kami Fujiyoshi took about an hour by foot or 20 minutes by car on the winding but paved road. Side note, the school the students went to was in Kami Fujiyoshi. So I'm guessing it's more developed. Like if this is the size also, like maybe it's like more cityous, but I mean I don't like it can't be just on a slope, right? Like maybe there's a slight incline, but obviously this is just a stuffed drawing. Imagine being on a village and your fucking house is just like this way. I know you wouldn't fall, but it's still kind of scary, man. What if an avalanche happened and you just fucking your whole town falls down the mountain? These two settlements has ties so strong they share customs and cultures. Shimi said the local seasonal events were quite unconventional. Asked her to elaborate, but all she would say was that Yasumizu had special meaning to Fujiyoshi. She was making me more suspicious than I wanted to be, and I'm already fucking suspicious. This conversation wasn't nearly as excited as the one we had last night. Yeah, well, difference between sober and drunk conversations, right? Well, at least I found out she didn't have a boyfriend right now. Very intriguing. We got a shot? It was nearly noon when Takumi-san came back, ending my waiting game. Side note, the door was fully open the entire time we waited. It was probably Chimi's way of saying that nothing bad was happening here, and I know like in the countryside in general, like a lot of people leave their doors unlocked just because like nobody lives there, but everyone like knows each other, right? It's kind of like the advantage of a small town. Can't really do that in Mississauga City. Ooh. Did they carry it or just push it? But yeah, all the men are jacked in this village. Men. I mean, we've seen two boys, but you know, they weren't jacked unless they had sleeper builds. You never know. I really didn't expect them to just carry it here. Wow, they actually carried it. That is crazy, man. Look at these guys, man. Men amongst men. Like, sure, there are two of them, but just how much mass did you have to haul a 200 kg piece of metal so easily? I mean, Takumi's like 2 men worth of people. The paved road and the river made my sweet ride really damn muddy. Oh, pulley tech. They don't like talking to us? Yeah. I guess Chimi was right. We shouldn't have went with them. Not that we had a choice. Otherwise, we're gonna need a ride. The sharpening. Saw them off with a loud thank you. Now then, do you know motorcycles? I think the best part, actually I don't know. I don't like motorcycles. I'm not even a bike person. Like I don't ride a bike, but just not my thing. I can't imagine. It's like riding a bike like on the road, but like you're fast. I don't know. It's just I'm a safe kind of guy. But I do think it's cool that motorcycle drivers basically just have a pass to wear leather jackets. I think leather jackets are so cool, man. The worst part of the repairs was right at the beginning. I wanted to start by washing it, but that old lady, Tai Yamawaki was her full name, got really mad at me for washing it. She didn't want any Saranaga mud on the ground here because it was corrupt or something. I mean, you know, I was gonna complain, but if it's corrupted mud, then maybe I wouldn't want it in my backyard either. But this plaza was the only place with the ease with easy access to a water supply tap, so I did my best to and convinced her to let me wash it as close to the edge as possible. Once it was clean, I could start checking what was wrong with it. It actually looked pretty good. Bent in places, sure, but the wash got rid of the bad sound the wheels made. The only problem was that both tires were flat. And it was a pretty big one. Like a big rip, or a big tire, or a big flat tire. I didn't say it before, but the prose in this game is kind of weird. I don't know why though. If it's more translation, like it's not translated badly, but a lot of stuff like reads weird to me. And maybe I'm just dumb. It's probably responsible if you're going on a long distance trip with a motorcycle. I wouldn't rely on road service if you're going deep in the country, man. Fair. I kind of want to know too. Or did he mention that? I think he did kind of mention that at the very first episode. Maybe not. Yeah, I thought he did mention it. Yeah, it wasn't. How do you fix a flat tire? Can you put just, I mean, nowadays I know you can probably slap some, what's it called, Gorilla Tape? No, I don't know. Don't try that. Like, you'd have to, like, I guess just put rubber? I don't know how you get it to stick, though. Like, reliably. Or can you put, like, metal over it or something? I don't know, man. I'm not a mechanic. Nosato Mansion. It's the giant, it's the big mall of the little village. Yeah, I want to meet more people. I wonder how big the cast is, honestly. I want to see the child too, the sussy child. I feel like if anything, that might be the white-haired girl. Just as we know she exists and is not a ghost, as she peeped on us last time. Honestly, if it is the white-haired child, I don't even blame the granny for thinking she's like evil. Like, what are the chances, man? And so we walked up the hill and arrived at the so-called Nosato Mansion. From what I could tell, I was looking at the highest point in the settlement. Like Jimmy said, it was definitely a hell of a building. It's got its own gate, man. And it had an elegant Western design, which would probably look even better if the place were better maintained. I mean, that's kind of crazy in a fucking... Like, when was this built in the village, man? The yard was overgrown and the building itself was pretty much buried in ivy and small trees. If someone told me it was cursed, I'd instantly believe them. Do people actually live here? She pressed the button next to the aged iron gate. Yasumizu was a quiet place, so I could easily hear the bell ring inside. I want to meet this guy, man. I wasn't sure what she meant, but I opted to just wait rather than ask questions. Soon enough, the person in question walked out of the mansion. Bro, this guy does not... He does not look like he belongs in a fucking village, man. Actually, I don't know what the date is, but... Isn't this like the cowboy drip? Cowboys wear this a lot. Kind of looks like a cowboy, just minus the hat. He wasn't young, but he didn't look middle-aged either. Looks kind of middle-aged to me. He certainly looked high-strung, that much for sure. Oops. Didn't even mean to do that.
どうも、野里さん、芹沢です。知っている、芹沢千恵美。そっちの青年は存じ上げないがね。春明さん、こちら野里清之助さん。清之助さん、事故車の久石春明さんです。
Nosato Kiyonosuke. That introduction was the briefest one yet. I explained the situation again. He furrowed his brow when I mentioned the Saranada, in addition to the reason we were here.
というわけで、早々にここから出ていくためにも、修理道具をお持ちだったら貸していただけないかと。タイヤはチューブですかね。
Huh?
一応パッチもあるがね。チューブタイヤだったら素人には難しいんじゃないのか。できるならいいがね。
No, he has the tech. Yeah, so it is patches. That's what I thought. Like, what else could it be?
なあ、チューブがバーストしてたら交換するしかないが、替えはさすがに持っておらんよ。
Damn.
譲る義理もないがね。
すみません。ちょっと
Yeah, he just rides it.
詳しくないまま乗っちゃったんで。
He's a rider.
ちょっと話にならんで。おとなしく何十万だかの勉強料を払って。
Damn, bro. We can't be that rich, though. I know retort to that.
野里さん、多分ですけど、今の時期。
Matt, yeah. Stacking outsiders.
君は間違いりだろう。Ooh,
he's the rational one. Also, I guess having too much outsiders is bad? Something bad will happen?
私はともかく、じいさまばあさま方がちょっと。ここ数日、やたら外来者多いですし。安水の連中の事情は知らん。
Damn.
私にどうしろと。
He's like the kind of guy who's like ashamed of his hometown and he tries to act like he's above it all, huh?
いや、そこまでなくても、藤吉の長者として困ってるマロードを助けるのにお力添えをいただけないかと。
He's a village head, huh?
困った時だけ長者を頼るのではなく、安水流のもてなしでもしたら。
Whoa, whoa!
崖から突き落とすんだったか。
I wonder if that would have happened to us if Chiemi didn't convince them that we're chill. Whoa, what the hell? Nah, I believe him too. Chiemi's tone was slightly off. I could feel a bit of irritation behind her words.
本当、お恥ずかしい限りなんですが、なんとかしてみるんで、道具だけ貸してもらえませんか?
Yeah, come on. Think of the karma, man. Do a good deed a day.
道具やらキットやら仮に入るだけで作業は別のところでしますから、もちろんお代は払います。まあ構わんがね。
That's fair. Honestly, that should have just been the understanding. Probably didn't even need to say it. I feel like we definitely should have paid anyways if he broke something. Then he pointed me to the garage and walked back to the mansion. I honestly don't know anything about tires either, in general, so don't mind. But yeah, I get it. You know, either there's just like normal people who drive, but you know, it's like car nuts kinda. And I say that respectfully. And some people just really love their vehicle like that. It is handy though, if you know all the details, so you can probably identify a problem by yourself if you see it, right? Well, he didn't even try. That's the go-to method, right? I'm sure that's a type. I'm sure. Ooh. I kind of got that off him too. It goes with him like not wanting to be a hick or whatever. I wonder what if you like bet him and to like repair it and he's just like ass at repairing. He's like, oh, never mind, you don't deserve my time. I
じゃあなぜバイクの整備用品なんて
think he has everything. He's like a
野
hoarder.
里屋敷は上富士吉にある野里家のもっと大きいお屋敷からいらないものを運んで置いとくような場所らしくてね。
Ah, so there's a powerful family over there. Oh, so this is just a giant storage place. Yeah, basically for
5、6
hoarding.
年前に清之助さんが単車買ってもらったけど、ろくに乗りこなせなくてお蔵入りにしたとか聞いたことあ
Damn.
る。
I mean, I guess you don't have to drive too much around here, though. Damn, that was the countryside for you. Couldn't hide your shame if your life depended on it. Anyway, I now knew that man was the condescending, pretentious type. Just play to his ego, and I think you'll get far. He still helped me out, though, and it was true I didn't know much about the bike repairs, so I couldn't really get mad. Bear stripes. Wait, but we don't know how either. Then how are we gonna do this? Whatever. Just don't fuck it up, or we'll be stuck here.
私、邪魔じゃないかな。
いや
Sounds like
適
it's
当に
getting
話して
late.
ないと気がめいるんで相槌打ってくれるだけでも助かる
The instructions that came with the repair kit told me my bike's tires were a rather difficult type to repair. Oh no, bro has the tubes in them, man. So I'm glad it came with an instruction manual. I guess there probably is just a general car, general motorcycle repair guide. Obviously they're all different, but there's general steps you can take, right? Apparently I had to remove the tires, but where did I start with that? Well, as long as I didn't break it, nothing I did could be worse than having to call road service down here, so I just tried taking it apart. But as I removed whatever nuts I could, I made the situation even worse than it was. Whenever you take anything apart with parts, you definitely should, like, sort the parts. Like, put them in places you know there will be. Because then you have a bunch of screws and nuts and whatever, and you don't know where to put them, man. Yeah, this really wasn't a job for an amateur.
お兄さん、大変そうね。
Kayori.
ちえみちゃんもよかったら食べてね。ありがとうございます。
なんか大元になってんな。機械っつうのはやっぱダメだな。
まあ、壊れさえしなきゃ文明の利器は便利だけどね。
True. Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? With the old stuff, you know, it might not be as efficient, but at least it's an easy fix.
日暮れまでに治りそうかい？
厳しいかも。最悪なんとかするから安心して。おばあちゃん。
I really appreciate how she handled the visitors in my stead. Yeah, socializing for us. It's a social shield. I feel like this guy would be a biker. I mean, he has the vibe.
どうだろう。原付なら簡単よ。私も持ってるし。
She's just munching.
中型大型の二輪は結構めんどいよ普通免許取るのと同じ
I mean, that's fair, man.
バイク好きなのかい
I feel like it would be not wise to not, like, treat the motorcyclists the same as the bikers, man. Both dangerous. It's so cute, man. I like this guy. Such a big tsundere. To everyone. He's like, who the fuck asked you? By the way, how much did that cost you?
これは新車で80万くらいかな
Holy. That's what? Oh, that's 8,000. Okay, I thought that was like way more, right? I think it's 8,000. Because 80,000 is 800. So yeah, 8,000. That's not bad. Not in this economy anyways. Actually, I don't know how much motorcycles go for. I feel like they can probably be pretty expensive though.
たっけはたっけバカどうやって貯めんだよ
まあバイトとか頑張ったから。
My life savings.
そんな戦車が事故ってなんて。
Yeah,
気の毒。
you just haven't been lucky, man.
ちえみ先生、さっきから気にはなってたんだけど、差し入れ
She nommed it all the way.
先生思わず手が出ちゃった。
Poor
気の毒。
Haruaki. I didn't want sympathy from the one responsible. As I told her off for not leaving me any food, I somehow removed the tires. I could only hope I'd be able to fix this up. I had had this thing for less than a month, but the trouble it was putting me through made it feel somewhat dear to me. I wanted to fire it up again and make it go as fast as it could. Suddenly, I heard an engine. It felt like it was mocking me. Yeah, I mean, this one car here? The village car? Hold on, an engine here. I stopped working and turned around to see an unfamiliar van drive into the plaza. Or this might be the journalist van. Just because, you know, journalists all drive in vans, right? When they're going to the countryside. Bearing the classic looking piece of junk in Nosato's garage, this was the first time I'd seen a car here. As far as I knew, no one living here actually owned a running car, so...
さっき言った記者さんたちだね。
Called it. Called it. I knew it. Once the van stopped, a lady stepped out of it. Hot reporter, hot reporter. Why is it always like... Actually, wait, maybe they're both journalists. I was thinking of a TV crew for some reason.
こんにちは。
Hello. Oh, she's pretty.
どうも。
She's alright.
今日もご迷惑をおかけします。
Okay, she does look better with her eyes open. I mean, she looks also kind of evil, though. That's that's just kind of the vibe, though.
どうも自己春明です。
Yeah.
そこまで自虐的になんなくても。
Put it in your story. Crap, that was no time for an inside joke. I quickly introduced myself properly.
ちょっとその辺で事故りましてね。ここに寄せてもらってます。
なるほど、学生さんね。事故は災難だったわね。ちなみに私はこういうものです。
Oops. The woman gave me her business card. Hisako Mamiya. A freelance writer, her pen name was Kyoko Hosai.
ちなみに読んだことない？宝生9個の記事。
I feel like her guy's not the type of guy to read a newspaper or just articles.
すみません。
だよね。まだまだマイナーだし、そもそも記事載った雑誌、主婦向け。
Wow, yeah, we're just not the Democrat. We're not the demo. Whatever. It's alright. I'm a little inebriated right now.
それは難易度高い。
Demographic was what I was looking for.
何を書いておられるんです？
フードレビュー。
Ooh,
触った食品専門のね。
that's cool. I feel like if I had to read like a article that I would follow, like I'd follow a specific writer for their weekly articles, I feel like a food review might be the one, just because that's kind of interesting. You know, food is good, man. You know, maybe you'll learn some new recipe or something.
あれですか？世界で一番臭い缶詰とかそういう。
そうそう。ああ、シュールなんて
Okay,
今更
weird
言
but
わないから
interesting foods.
国内に絞ってマイナーな珍味を探し歩いてるわけ。
That's cool too. Rare food.
そんなわけで、調理に変わった料理があるとか情報があったらぜひちょうだい。日本全国どこでも行くから。
ラボの後輩がキャンパス内で取って豚汁作ったら
That's
集団
funny.
幻覚が起きまして。
The magic mushies.
思いつきと毒物は却下ね。
As we chatted, I became curious.
そういえば取材の方はお二人とか。
もう一人いるわ。ちょっと降りてくるのに時間が。
Does he not have a camera? I looked at the van and became completely awestruck. Felt like the van had shedded skin or something. That made no sense, but seriously, how did this fit in there? Yeah, dude. See, it's always like female reporter, male camera dies. This is just how it normally is, huh? Also, I like this. I like this guy's stash, man. He looks friendly. I mean, you can like automatically trust the journalists, kinda, that they're not evil. I can see this guy being evil, but like, cause they seem like, if we're making like who's evil and not, I don't know if we need to do that like now, but right, unless, I mean, yeah, unless it's something they're lying or something, secret motive or one of them. I feel like if anyone's gonna be evil, with the camera guy though. The reporter girl just looked bitchy, but that's alright. He was gargantuan. Takumi-san was something, but this man was on the level of a foreign heavyweight wrestler. Yeah, they're both huge guys, but like different. And you know, just because he just looked super fat, I mean, you can kind of see some definition here, so like, maybe not, like, still, bro, he can probably rock like a normal guy. There's power, man. Though like Takumi-san, this man was primarily fat, or rather than muscle. As he walked out of the driver's seat, the van shook wildly.
写真家の橋本雄大さんよ。
He didn't just ram you down, man.
私よりもっとずっと有名。
Way more famous.
オールラウンドでご活躍中で、写真はきっと気づかない。
I like looking at like photo art, but it never really like has an impact on me compared to paintings. Not that I look at both like a lot. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I've seen photo art. Like, it's cool, but I don't know. I just like creating something more than like staging. You feel me? I didn't know much about photography, but I was definitely convinced. There's a certain kind of authority or gravity around him. It's called aura. He wasn't saying a word, and I couldn't tell what he was thinking.
どうもはじめまして。久石春明です。
Was he even alive? He's transcended life. He's the Buddha. After a strange pause, he slowly bowed to me like the moving mountain he was, and greeted me with a voice like a titan. I wouldn't have described that as a titan-like voice. He seems somewhat difficult to interact with.
今日で最終日でしたっけ？
Well, I'm guessing it's not going to be.
秘蔵の獅子なれを開けてくださるってことなので。よその人に耐えられるかな。まあ、胃薬も持ってきて
Got the Tums on standby. And so, Mamiya-shi and Hashimoto-shi walked off to the dining hall. Who would have thought that such a beauty was a delicacy hunter? I had to admit that was kind of charming. As intrigued as I was, I couldn't waste any more time. I had to fix my bike already. Oh man, it's the fucking hentai antagonist looking ass motherfucker. Whoa. Why is he scary though? A lot of things had surprised me here in Yasumizu, but nothing as much as this.
もしもし。
I mean, like, just like a small creepy man just like walked up to you and just stared without saying anything. Looking like that, that would scare any rational person. No reaction. At first glance, he looked like a poor man, too senile to think and perceive properly.
何かご用ですか？
I made sure to speak as clearly as possible. It didn't look like he understood. I figured it was best just to ignore him and resume the repairs, but... Don't? Not on the bike, man. I looked at him again. He was still just standing there like his soul and brain had left his body. A vacant stare, yellowed eyes, half-open mouth covered in saliva. Please? He spoke to Dan.
何が来るんです？
Werewolf. Say the werewolf. What? His voice was too hoarse to make it out. I'm ready for the werewolves, man. I placed my hand against my ear. Finally understood what I wanted and prepared to whisper something. I brought my ear closer and... Just a wolf. Ouch. The sudden shout caught me completely off guard and made me fall to the ground. He looked down at me laughing. Look at this mother. Ew. He clapped and opened his half-toothless mouth into a wide smile. What's wrong with this geezer? He bent his body in a weird way, laughed like he was convulsing, turned around, and just left. Yeah, that's weird. Though, if I was making innocent, I would put him in innocent, because he's crazy and dumb, so I don't think he's, like, evil. Right? So I have 3 people cleared. That's right, not even Chiemi. Everyone else is still sus for me right now. Chiemi had joined the journalist and only just came back. He's just trolling? Maybe. Oh wait, maybe he's sus? Maybe he's a old ass werewolf. We'll just call him the R word. The old man who cried wolf. Well, maybe he's about to be an innocent because he might die. Because obviously that's the boy who cried wolf reference, right? And like, yeah, named after the boy who cried wolf, I assume. Doesn't work as well though. Yeah, it doesn't flow as well. As far as I knew, there are no wild wolves in Japan. Kind of protested to that, but I haven't looked it up, so, and I'm too lazy, so maybe he's right. There used to be, but after the last sighting in either the Meiji or Showa era, they've been considered extinct here. Aw. It's kind of fucked up. Modern Japan's image of wolves come from Western fairy tales and the like. It wasn't linked to anything in our culture or life. Even the boy who cried wolf was a Western tale. Did his brand of insanity make him repeat the tale or something? A bit weirded out by the circumstances, I went back to repairing my bike. Gotta get this damn bike fixed. After a bit more time, I took off the rubber from the tires and removed the tubes. Both of the tires were pierced by some really rusty nails. Fuck, this kind of stuff only happens at the worst of times. Then I applied the patches and filled them with air using a manual pump. I wet the tubes. There are no bubbles, meaning no air was leaving them. Okay, good to test. Things were looking good. After the high schoolers came back from school and passed by, no one else stopped to talk. Chimmy was looking a bit bored now. I mean, was she literally just standing there the whole day? It all came together at the end. Honestly, I'm not a big builder too, but if you give me instructions, I will literally follow it to the T. Just give me the instruction booklet. But I'm just bad at like general building stuff. Looks like, I mean, we're gonna have to stay at least one night over. Yeah, it's literally been blaringly obvious. She didn't seem to care that much. Guess I had no chance with her, huh?
何時間もコンを詰めっぱなしでしょ。大丈夫？
Need a chit chat?
昼食休憩の機会が誰かさんに奪われたこともあってね。
Aww.
代わりにクラッカーをあげたじゃないですか。
Like that was enough to sate a guy in his mid-20s.
まあ僕は大丈夫。もう一頑張りする。君ももう行っていいよ。大体の人。
多分あと2人会ってない人がいるかな。
Two. Really? Where there's no real need to, right?
もうちょっといるよ。どうせ暇だから帰ってきたわけだし、することもないし。
Thank you.
52人の男友達と遊ぶ選択肢はなかったの。
Ooh, question her about it.
全言撤回。暇したいから帰ってきたの。街暮らしは面倒も多くて、52人からのメール攻めとかさ。
そっか。
ごめん、52人は嘘。
How much? Wait, how much though?
なんでそんな嘘を。
She just wanted to look
村
cool.
木さんに対する牽制。
Oh, yeah, that too. Why would she pull a tactic like that only to reveal her hand? We're growing on her.
彼女に振られたって本当？
And now she asked me that.
本当だって。
Pinky
そ
promise.
っか。
Well, after that relentless assault, it wouldn't be fair unless I played my own card.
なんならこれ乗っていく？
Wanna leave this small town together?
これって2人乗りなんだ。
もちろん。一応タンデム用のヘルメットも吊るしてきてるし、まだ乾いてないけど。僕はこのままここを出ていくから、その便でちえみちゃんも外に出るのが都合よければ。
Join the wild ride.
ついでにロングツーリングしてみる？時間さえあればどこへだって行くよ。
I like this. Sweep you off your feet, Riz. Flexible, open to fine-tuning, wild and charming. This was a good date invitation, if I do say so myself.
いいね、素敵。都合問題ないよ。
She's gonna say but now. Oh?
じゃあ荷物まとめてくるね。
Wait, we're in? Jimmy smiled and turned around to head to her place. She then looked back at me and...
急いだ方がいいよ。
Yo, it worked.
はいはい、もちろん。
Well, that made me motivated. Plus one girlfriend? This was one tiring trip, but at least I met someone good along the way. I just forget everything I didn't want to remember while on the road with her. I could only hope that clever girl and I would eventually grow closer. With that ulterior motive in mind, I resumed rebuilding the bite. Oh, he's then get a buff, man. Now that he kind of gets a reward. My man. After several failed attempts, I was finally making some good progress, putting the bite back together. Afternoon had passed and it was almost evening. At this rate I was going, I'd definitely be working while it was dark. Would that even be possible? It might be way past midnight by the time I was done. Jimmy might dump me for that. Man, life sure was hard. Well, that wasn't a long-lasting relationship, but you know, it's not the time spent. Wait, no, fuck, I forgot what the saying is. Abort. The plaza I worked in was now totally empty, and there was no one around me. All I could hear was the wind, the frogs, and the tools in my hands. It was desolate to say the least. I suddenly felt really weak. It made me keenly aware of being in a place I didn't belong, and that I was preparing to escape. It was an oppressive atmosphere, like the bars of a cage were slowly swinging shut. What's this? Haru. I still can't say his name, man. I'm just gonna call him Haru. That's so much easier. Think you're gonna get attacked or something? I tried to laugh it off, but it didn't work. As I became more conscious of my surroundings, I began to hear things I hadn't noticed before. I heard a voice. Someone was singing. It was an inarticulate little girl's voice. That outsider, that's definitely most likely to be a demon. I stopped my work, Before I knew it, I'd put my tools down and gone looking for the source. She's a mermaid. Siren. Was I that starved for human presence? Or did that malaise make me feel like I was in danger? Malaise? I walked down the hill to where the song came from. Passing the tall grass, I arrived. That's a big tree. Just kind of spitting. It was a strange sight. The field was covered in tall grass. There were countless rocks peeking out of it. Unlike the boulders all over Yasumizu, these were only up to my waist. They looked like gravestones. Bro, this is a fucking demon. We gotta run, man. I don't trust it. She sounds adorable though. But there's no way, man. The field extended into the dusky western sky before ending at a cliff. This was the lowest spot in Yasumizu, the border to Saranaga. There was a large pine right at the edge. The evening sun, the stones, and the pine shadow gave the field a strange aura. A little girl was running through it. Her steps were awkward. At this moment, the space was alien. It does look crazy, honestly, just this background with all this shit happening. I felt like I was looking at a Giorgio de Chirico painting. Don't know who that is. The place felt like it didn't belong in this world. Suddenly, I came to understand that this place was special. It was a sacred, mystic ground where no outsiders were welcome. Hey, and we're right here. That's not gonna get us any friends. The girl fell. I run with no hesitation. The girl. Oh, I guess that's like... That's actions? What is it? I guess that's why it's written like that. Wait, it's not the white-haired girl. Okay. But she still might be a demon. I don't trust it. You are not cleared. Help a half-crying girl who has muddy clothes. New graze on band-aid covered kneecap. I actually kind of like this. It looks messy, but I get it. I console little girl, but she pushes away and runs. Someone appears. Girl saw me once. Well, okay, now I'm confused. Me saw once. Girl appears. Okay, fake Rika. I thought you weren't part of the game, man. She lied. Girl weave. Incomprehensible phrase. Hide behind little girl. Fear and hostility. Eyes? Girl hug little girl. Warn me? This kind of makes it scary, it being written like that. I don't know, it's weird. Okay, now I trust her. She's telling us to get out of here. And honestly, the only bad things that can happen are if we stay here. So she's on the innocent list. Me, girl. Behind. Me, girl, behind mist. Mist. Me, girl, behind mist. Mist. I feel like I'm having a stroke. Mist. Me, girl, behind mist. Mist. Me. Dead. Turn around. Run. Where? In a daze, I came back to the plaza, and I can think normally now. Suddenly, Shimmy shook me, bringing me back to my senses. We just got traumatized. Wait, bad end? I couldn't understand what she was getting at. I
何やってんだちえみ。とっとと部屋に戻れ。
feel like we're about to
春
die.
明さんが
ほっとけそんなよそ者。俺はおやっさんと他の連中んち回るから絶対戻れよちえみ。
I couldn't understand. What were these two doing? What scared them so much? I think we're about to die, man. It didn't take long for me to find out. The mist! I looked down the hill from Serenado beyond the field I had just been in came a rising haze. It was so dense you could easily call it mist. It moved strangely like a living creature as it floated into the plaza.
春明さんこっち。
Chimmy pulled me by the hand.
何がなんだか頭
Oh
が
man, what the fuck's happening?
頭
今は我慢して。どこか鍵のかかるところに一人で入るの。
Does everyone have to have a separate room?
どういうことなの？理由を
We're drugged up, man.
お願い春明さん。今だけは言うことを聞いて。
Albeit hesitantly, I did as she said. We ran up the hill and crossed the rice field path until we made it into a simple outhouse.
ここならなんとか。
本当何事なんだ？確かにすごい霧だけど、そんな慌てることじゃ。
いい春明さん。詳しく説明してる時間はない。
I trust this
お願い
shit's
だから
supernatural.
今から言うことを絶対に守って。
Oh, so she's on my dead list now.
今から一晩ここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。
My mind was pretty clear by this point, so much so that I began to wonder why it was clouded until now. Because of that, I could easily understand exactly what Shimi just said, despite how weird it was. I could also see she was really desperate. Oh, if only we had all those keys. But I trust her. I guess if we knew what was happening, it would have changed our decision.
とんでもない指示が来たもんだ。
春明さん。
言っとくけど、相当な無茶ぶりだからね。ノルマクリアの暁には相当な見返りと説明を要求するから。
Good trade deal?
いいよ。全部話す。
Actual big trade deal.
だから今晩を生き延びて。
The words, the tears smile, none of it looked fake.
じゃあね。君も急ぐんでしょ？
それじゃ春明さん。
何？
明日言うから。
No, I'm kind of scared. I feel like we might die. Leaving me one hell of a homework assignment, Shimmy ran off. The plaza was covered in mist by now. I could see it rising to take over the fields, too. Anyway, a promise was a promise. Alright, stick to it, kid. 10 minutes later, I began to wonder what I was doing. Was I really supposed to spend the night here? This outhouse wasn't like a prefab you find in a construction site, it was just a shack built by hand. It merely happened to have a toilet unit installed. It was Japanese style, so I couldn't even sit down. All I could do was stand. I mean, it sucks, but I'd rather do that than not die, you know? Another problem. If it was the type of toilet that periodically had to be pumped empty, so the smell was really bad. Yeah, okay. I'd hate that, man. I hate nasty smells. Sure, there was a cover on the toilet unit, but without any kind of air freshener anywhere, the smell of ammonia could only do so much. The only good thing about it was that if I had to go to the toilet, well, mission complete. But what of it? Again, was I really supposed to spend the night here? The question quickly made me realize how stupid this was, and I began making assumptions to make this easier for myself. Was I being pranked, or was everyone here just crazy? Hell, the mist had already filled the surroundings, and there's no way that the shabby outhouse protected me from it. It's not the mist itself. The mist is a precursor to something coming, I think. The air here already felt misty and damp. The temperature here was low, so I could still bear it somewhat, but staying here all night would make me all wet. Again, I wasn't safe from the mist here. That considered, I'd probably be better off sleeping in the grass outside than staying here. It's not the mist, bro. He just doesn't understand. The reasonable part of my mind urged me to stop playing along with these hits. However,
今から一晩ここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。うん、いいよ。全部話す。だから今晩を生き延びて。
my sense of duty made it hard for me to break the promise I made to her. Actually, that wasn't quite true. I was more intrigued by the proposal of learning more about this place. Would be good. Anyway, I took the time to compile what I found out today. This was Yasumisu Settlement, a special part of Fujiyoshi. It was situated right next to the Saranada Rapids. The people living here were Chemi Serizawa, Yasunada Orobe, his family Tairi Orobe, and Yoshitsudu Arobe, I don't know. Chitomachi Kamoshida, Haru Matishima, her granddad Kenzo Matishima, Tei Yamawaki, Takumi Muro, Kiyonosuke Nosato. Seemed like he was from Kemi Fujiyoshi, the place on the other side of the mountain, but for some reason he lived here now. And finally, the old man who cried wolf. That's it? That's all the people here? This shit is really small. There are 11 people I met, and Shimi said I had 2 more left. That could only mean the 2 I met first by the pines were the one. Oh, I thought they meant like 2 more villagers. Oh, no. Oh, by the pines. Right. Little girl, she was probably the child that strayed into the Saranada yesterday morning. And then there's that fantastical looking white-haired woman, clad in strange clothing. She was probably the one I'd seen in the morning. The fact I'd seen her twice made it likely she was indeed real, but with how mysterious this place was, I couldn't rule out the possibility that she was an illusion. According to Chimmy, the little girl was being looked after by someone in the village, so I could only assume that white-haired woman was the one. I mean, that's rational. If I counted the little girl, it would mean that Yasumizu had 13 inhabitants. Then there are 2 journalists, Hisato Mamamiya and Yudai Hashimoto. Add me to that and you had a total of 3 outsiders, but I'd put that aside for now. Anyway, time for an assessment. Yesterday morning, a little girl stayed straight into Saranada. To make it worse, no one, not even herself, knew anything about her. She instantly got branded as an ill omen. The next day, Shami, who was in Saranada for some reason, found me there. They recognized me as proper lost person, but since I came through Saranada, I was also branded as an ill omen. From what Kiyonosuke Nasatoshi said, it was safe to assume that it used to be customary to throw people like this into Saranada. Yeah, I believe that. And then there's the mist. The girl said something mysterious, prepare for the feast when the evening mist arrives. I can only assume it was related to the same superstitions. After all, the mist came from Saranada itself, and it and the river seemed to be central to the local customs and ideas. With that in mind, how is it dangerous? What was going to happen now? Yomi Bito, as in people from Yomi, the ancient Japanese land of the dead? Dead people came back through Saranada, and they were corrupted. Well, that gave room for some wild ideas. Was there some sort of pathogen in Saranada that rose up in the mists? I don't think it's that. Did it turn people into zombies? Was I about to be part of Japanese Resident Evil? Wait, that was already Japanese. Yeah, biohazard. What if you had 10% chance to be infected by the mists, but a 100% chance to be infected by another person? That explained why they had to isolate themselves like this. The thing is, again, it's not the mist, otherwise it wouldn't just be a locked room, because again, mist still enters through there. So I don't think the mists actually do anything themselves. Maybe the thing that comes with the mist does what he's saying, but yeah. If I became a zombie, I probably wouldn't have the mind to unlock the door. So basically, by locking myself in here, I was quarantining myself. I mean, that is kind of a neat theory. I didn't really think of that aspect. I hadn't put all that much thought into that, but that seemed like a good story. It's actually decent. It actually makes more sense now that I think about it. I still don't believe it, but at least it's kind of reasonable, you know? Sure, stuff like the boulders and the wolves didn't fit anywhere into my idea, but it was still interesting. Then again, I knew this was Hitsville and all, but would a superstition that science could explain so easily really survive the modern world? It seems so weird.
今から一晩ここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。
Don't make a sound. Oh yeah, that's a big indicator too. To be frank, the reason why I spent so much time in these delusions was because I was scared of the things I didn't know or understand. In the past, people used to attribute stuff like natural phenomena and diseases to gods, devils, yokais, and then do nothing but fear them. They were scared of these manifestations of monsters and whatnot, but on the other hand, it was better than not seeing or not knowing what they really were. The fact that you could die to things you couldn't see or understand made life really unreasonable and unfair. That's a great point, honestly. Like, imagine living back in the days when people didn't know how medicine worked, man. Shit would be terrifying. That was why it was very logical to give them names and mental images in order to recognize and memorize them. My fear of things I didn't know was the same, except I wasn't satisfied with just labels or hypothesis. I needed to reach the truth. That aside, what was I feeling right now wasn't a fear of the unknown. It was a realistic, practical fear of something that could endanger my life.
今から一晩ここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てない
And
で。
just needs to learn how to sleep standing up. That meant that outside lived something dangerous that could hear sounds. Perhaps it was the so-called dead that rose up from the river. Or maybe, assuming I was right with my Sarnada sickness theory, it was people who came out and beat the shit out of all the diseased who didn't follow the rules. That's funny. The wolf is coming. Maybe the wolf was the title given to the killer? Suddenly I heard a scream in the distance. Oh no, bro, I'm dead. Go take a look. Wow, that was some timing. Right as I was about to form a new hypothesis, proof connecting it all suddenly came to me, and it was right outside. It had gotten really dark and there are no lights anywhere. The darkness was fear, unperceived, it was unknown, it was dangerous, it was scary. Leaving this place was dangerous, it was scary, it was scary, it was scary, it was scary. Scary things were scary no matter how much logic you applied. But I couldn't discard my desire to get to know the fear and conquer it. We're so dead, man. I opened the door and stopped in place. Night was in absolute darkness, no matter how dark or cloudy it was. The sky always gave some bit of light to us. However, I came to understand that it could be hard to see even if there was light. Everything I saw was covered by a dense mist. Combined with the pale moonlight, it made the area seem milky. It made it hard to get around. Regardless, I couldn't ignore the stream. There's something beyond this veil. Who's getting eaten? Probably the reporter, right? I kept moving forward. Unless my ears were deceiving me, the stream belonged to a woman, and had come from the right. It's not gonna be Jimmy, man. She went home. Unless they can like mimic screams, which would also be scary. I couldn't let myself think that. Or rather, I didn't want to think that. The unknown was scary. Personally, I found the principle made my life really easy. And more than enough fear from those which were directly threatening my life. I really didn't want to have the fear of losing someone as well. Change your line of thought, Haru. Solving the mysterious might save someone. Two birds with one stone. I began walking faster. Another scream. It was close. I realized I had to find a way to protect myself. I was unarmed, so I looked around for anything I could use as a weapon. I felt around to see if there were any branches or anything. Sadly, all I felt was grass. I went deeper and searched the ground itself. Soon I felt something hard. It was a rock. A moment of digging later, I took it in hand. It was a bit smaller than my hand. I almost teared up as how useless it seemed, but it was better than nothing. Small rock. I looked at the base of my feet and saw grassier ground. I could easily move forward if I first checked the ground using my feet. And since I might have been close to the danger, I had to focus on what was ahead too. I'd recognize the danger and if possible get rid of it. I concentrated entirely on that and stepped forward. He's too brave, man. I would never do this, man. I couldn't hear the screams anymore, but I could hear other things. A wet sound, and the sound of something cracking. It filled my mind with countless things I didn't want to imagine. Even so, I kept walking forward, until I saw it. It. Bro, that is a werewolf with 3 eyes. That's too much, man. Why'd they give it another eye? Oh, my hypotheses were nothing but delusions. The truth was truly something you had to see yourself. But why? Why was this so scary in spite of being true? It wasn't supposed to exist. It couldn't exist. After all, it was a wolf with a humanoid body. And there's no such thing as werewolves. I'm dead. The next morning, in a paddy field in Fujiyoshi, Yasumizu 3rd block, someone discovered a thoroughly mangled corpse. The clothes nearby led to the discoveries to conclude it was of the traveler Harufusa Ishii. Wait, we're alive? Strangely enough, I could perceive this particular moment. Oh, and so I... Ouch. Was finished off by the girl. The last thing I heard was that Alhain the wolf? Wolves? Well, we're not the wolf. Or maybe we were a wolf since we're alive. Think if you survive a werewolf attack, you turned into a wolf? Unveiled arrival. Key! O2. You can view it in the key list. Yeah, it's basically not me just not going outside. Anyways, we're gonna end it here. So we got our first death. Unavoidable. Couldn't avoid it if I tried. But now we know the tech. Werewolves are real and they have 3 eyes?